Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some more Fan Fridays action, and what is in this battle that Xavier says is a must-see? Well, we just have to watch and find out and see how crazy it ends up being for this Fan Fridays. So, yeah, just waiting for this challenge to happen and the battle to begin. So, Arceus lead versus the Musharna. What is Musharna going for? It doesn't look like there's a lot of Trick Room synergy going on right there. So it's just going to be Arceus leading with that judgment, going to go for the damage onto Musharna. Takes about half its health, throws out the hypnosis, and it does land. Things just got a little more interesting right there as we can see, you know, is there Calm Mind set up? Are we just going to go for, like, I don't know what could happen right here. Nightmare. That's interesting. I haven't seen like a sleep nightmare combo in a while, and I honestly feel it's like super unoptimized because when they wake up, like, you lose that turn, so you only get a couple of percentage effectiveness out of it. It's not really too insane, but the Dream Eater is going to be a nice little bit of tech right there because Musharna will now have enough to survive the next judgment. So it does come down to prediction, and it looks like there might be enough right there. If Arceus, I was about to say, if Arceus doesn't wake up, that would be absolutely devastating, but Arceus is going to wake up, and that is going to be damage from the judgment. If there was a hypnosis prediction, there it is, and it will be avoided, however, which is pretty much on odds, but that would have been massive because, yeah, then you get to heal up more from the Dream Eater, and Musharna almost went toe-to-toe with an Arceus. That's kind of crazy, and there's the Crobat, but the prediction was made, the effort was there. Arceus throws down the judgment. Crobat, I guess that has to be Scarf Arceus then for Crobat to get out sped, unless it's like not a full speedy Crobat, which is possible because Crobat is showing Toxic, which is status. Could have just gone for like a Brave Bird or something, and that's going to be status right there. Ooh, but more judgment. Oh, Crobat's going to avoid the judgment and throw out the acrobatics, which works out pretty well, and that's not going to be enough to knock out the Arceus, but the Toxic will be there in the end. Interesting little Crobat right there. Interesting. But yeah, with the Nightmare, I think like 2 turns of Nightmare would have been the same as a Dream Eater, so it would have healed up. I'm just not a fan of the Nightmare, honestly. And that's going to be Aeroblast from the Lugia. The Crobat didn't really get too much else to do because all he has to, yeah, support Crobat against all these Pokemon isn't going to find a lot of effectiveness, but that's going to be little old Klefki. What does the Keyring have? It's the Calm Mind Klefki set, guys. Alright, we're not in for some swagger shenanigans, but the Calm Mind against the Lugia. Lugia isn't Calm Mind, that's where things start to get interesting right there. So the Aeroblast will be heavily resisted, well, not heavily resisted, but it'll be resisted pretty well, and then the Calm Mind, like, just make it to where it does even less damage. Prankster on that Calm Mind means, yeah, it's just getting better and better for Klefki, and this could be ideal. Now, Lugia is a massive tank, and he will be going just more and more Aeroblast right there. I mean, the only thing that really hurts Klefki is going to be a critical hit, but it doesn't really matter. And this is how you play the Klefki right here. Calm Mind, Iron Defense, Klefki. You need to know when to set up for what. Like, once you already have 2 really safe Calm Minds and nothing else threatens you, that's when you start throwing out the Iron Defense. You need to be ready for the next Pokemon your opponent's bringing in, and it looks like a Thunder Wave set. Sometimes you see the Recycle, sometimes you see Substitute, Thunder Wave, whatever. This is going to be Thunder Wave, and it's just going to help build up for that Klefki, because now you're out speeding into that Draining Kiss. You're going to be healing up before the opponent has a chance of hitting you, and that's going to be the problem right there. Lugia, such a tanky Pokemon, but Draining Kiss heals for 75%, and Hydro Pump is an inaccurate move. So all sorts of craziness happening right there, and Klefki gaining a lot of health back, and now in a safe range again. Lugia gets paralyzed as well. That'll happen, and this is Keyring, not like just, yeah, Keyring beating Lugia. It can happen because Klefki's pretty awesome. And now Klefki's looking for the sweep on the rest of the team, which could be possible as long as we don't get crit by a Hydro Pump. So Draining Kiss, a little more damage, more healing. Oh man, critical hit right there. I would go for one more Calm Mind than finish off the Lugia. That's just me though. Iron Defense opportunity, because like Lugia is no threat right now. This is where you go +6 and just feel happy about it. But we'll go for the Draining Kiss, and that is not going to be enough, and that's why I would have gone for the Calm Mind. Taking about the same amount of damage anyways. Actually, probably less because of that, and there's the Surf. So, safer option than the Hydro Pump. Trying to get some damage in there. Still not going to do a lot, and there's Draining Kiss on the Klefki. But Klefki's feeling confident. Just wants to win it outright anyways with what we have set up. I mean, Thunder Wave, so I mean, tank up a hit. Thunder Wave, Draining Kiss back up to full. GG. That's how it is. So the Luxray going to be on, but that's why we set up the Iron Defense earlier, and Intimidate means nothing to us. So there we go, Klefki with the Thunder Wave. No, except you can't Thunder Wave the Luxray. That's going to be the discharge, and still doesn't do too much. Klefki does get paralyzed, but I mean, now, like, Luxray isn't a huge tank. It's not that crazy on the defensive side. Does get the full paralysis after that discharge, so 30% into 25%. Thunderbolt right there. Klefki with the Calm Mind, though. I don't know. I don't think Klefki's going to have it now. That would have been like the Draining Kiss opportunity for damage. Luxray with another Thunderbolt. Like, that Calm Mind's going to buy you the Thunderbolt. Yeah, just enough to survive right there. But Klefki gets fully paralyzed, and it does go down. Oh, we almost saw it. But yeah, the Thunder Wave turn, that was really bad. And then getting like the full paralysis right there. That's why I would have set up against Lugia. Like, once that Pokemon is on the field that poses no threat whatsoever, that's when you just go +6 and you secure the victory. But it looks like Latios is going to be able to come in and go for that 2-shot on the Dragon Pulse. So super effective Crunch, does a good amount of damage to Latios. Defense is going to drop, that doesn't matter. Latios with the back-to-back Dragon Pulse on the most likely Choice Scarf for all that damage is going to be able to finish off the Luxray right there. And that's going to be damage. But now we just get to wait and see what happens. So Xerneas, ooh, got big old Xerneas right there. And that's going to be a problem for the Pokemon. Oh, wow. Okay, he's not Scarfed. Interesting. Still has the Luster Purge. Going to try to get the damage down right there. And it doesn't really scratch Xerneas too much. And Xerneas is like, alright, fool. That's a Moonblast. Could have gone for Geomancy. Might have just wanted to make sure Latios goes away. And that's going to be the battle at this point right now. So Blaziken. Blaziken's here to try to stop the Xerneas. I mean, Mega Blaziken. I was going to say, if it was Focus Sash, there's some opportunity right there. This is where things get interesting. Does Xerneas go for the setup? What could happen? Xerneas with the close combat. Alright, so throws out the close combat. Blaziken's going to survive that one up. And Blaziken could have gone for like Swords Dance right here or something. But instead, has Blast Burn, so special attacking. And that's going to be enough to finish off the Xerneas. So Blast Burn Mega Blaziken being like the way of dealing with the Xerneas. That's pretty interesting right there. You are going to be very vulnerable for this turn against the Blastoise. So that'll happen. I don't think, yeah, Xerneas couldn't really have done too much. Like, the close combat's a lot of power. Moonblast, neutral hit. Blaziken's not that frail against the unboosted Xerneas. So, oh, wow, that's fortunate right there. Blastoise got greedy with the Hydro Pump. Looks like it didn't have, like, Water Pulse or something, and it's just going to be able to survive the Hydro Pumpness. I mean, 20% chance to miss. That's why I don't like those somewhat inaccurate moves. But, wow, the critical hit on the Blastoise. Blastoise is a huge tank. And the Hydro Pump is going to land in this situation. Blaziken will go down, but it did about half to that Blastoise, but it took a crit. And that's going to be Rayquaza. So I think this is the opportunity for Rayquaza to get the battle in its favor. So Blastoise is going to protect. Could be bad. Oh, actually, there's the Dragon Pulse right there. I was about to say, that like, there was a bold Dragon Dance right there. That would have gone miserably. But it's a regular Rayquaza, because we already saw the Mega Blaziken, and Dragon Pulse is still enough to handle the Blastoise right there. So it's not even Mega Rayquaza. And it's still doing work. I don't think that Dragon Pulse would have knocked out Blastoise without that crit, though. And there it is. That's going to be the Draco Meteor. It's like, you know what? We don't need to deal with this Hoopa Unbound, because it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But even then, like, Hoopa Unbound has, like, no defense. It's like physical defense is super duper frail. Hyperspace Fury going to be a nice little hit right there. Rayquaza, though. So, yeah, it's going to... Like, here's the thing. Loses defense already, but the Draco Meteor's on the special side, and we lost special attack. But I don't think there's enough damage to finish off the Hoopa after that drop. No, Hoopa is going to barely survive right there, and the Hyperspace Fury will be enough to finish off the Rayquaza as well. I mean, we get to see some cool Hyperspace Fury legendary battling, and that's the same glitch right there. So, oh, that's game. Darn. Well, it looks like Xavier tried to put up a good fight, threw it on the Klefki a bit, and that was kind of it. But everything else went pretty well, and it came down to the last Pokemon, almost on that Draco Meteor. I mean, I guess I did a bad job as a commentator right there. So, I mean, last Pokemon, that Draco Meteor could have edged out a little bit more damage and decided it, but it didn't. Also, the Rayquaza had some physical attributes to it. That would have been enough to knock out the Hoopa, because Hoopa has, like, no defenses, especially after Hyperspace Fury. But that was it right there. And the weird glitch thing It's weird, whenever you use a move like Aura Sphere or apparently Hyperspace Fury, it has like some kind of layering. I might actually do a video on this because I've seen this before. It has like some kind of transparency issues with how the scene is layered on a replay, and you can actually see the replay button in the background. So that makes for an interesting replay. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle with Xavier, and we have some more Fan Fridays coming up.